Hi, entrepreneurs. Karibu sana. You're welcome to our seventh session. We are now coming closer and inching closer to the end of WIDB training for women entrepreneurs. What a journey of learning. And thank you so much for sticking to the very end. We are nearing the end, and this motivation for you. Stay put, and we come to a close in the next two classes. We will have concluded, but I know you will take home a rich experience, and you will never go back. You're going to build on the knowledge you've accrued and acquired at WIDP. This is a training sponsored and tailor-made for women entrepreneurs. Why? It's because Women in Digital Business program saw a gap. The people who put this program together saw a very big gap when it came to men entrepreneurs, male-owned businesses versus female-owned businesses. And there was a disparity because men were quickly adapting to the technologies and innovations while women were lagging behind. And by good reason, women take up a lot. We are nurturers, we are home builders, and we are expected to compete on the same level field. But we thank the pioneers of this program, because this program empowers us and raises our digital literacy, literally, to make sure that we are able to compete with male-owned businesses. And last class, a recap of the last class, we were able to look at different models of setting up on e-commerce platforms and who they target, who is the target. We have business to business, we have business to commerce, freelancer to consumer, consumer to consumer. These are the different models, and we were able, at the end of the class, I'm sure now you are able to set up your own e-commerce store, be it on a business marketplace platform or your own website. And I told you, no need to worry. Do not think it's that hard. You can onboard a web developer, and these things, if you can pay for them, why not? Yeah, you concentrate on the core of your business. But if you can't, by virtue of the resources you have as an entrepreneur, don't worry. Now you have the knowledge on how you can build your own e-commerce store. Yeah. And we move forward to today's class, and it's an interesting class because it's just surrounding our consumer and how we can enrich their buying experience. And today we are at block 4, adapting other businesses' processes. This is at block 4. Remember this, when you go to the platform, they're divided by blocks. We are at block 4. Yay! 2 more blocks to go. And today we delve into receiving orders and collecting payment. That is what we will be looking at. Receiving orders and collecting payments. Don't we all love don't you all love when it comes to receiving payments? Yeah, we enjoy. I really enjoy receiving that money at the tail end of every transaction. I really enjoy. Yes, when that money comes in, you're like, wow, yeah, you're happy. You believe you've solved someone's problem and you get the reward of it. It ends with, it's very sweet to receive payment for a service rendered or goods sold. And this module 4, we go deeper into now understanding the final end of a transaction where we receive orders. Remember, we started by onboarding on different social platforms. At the beginning of the program, we learned about the social platforms that are digital marketing, digital branding, and now we are coming with, when we do all this that we are supposed to do, then the customer will feel endeared and they will buy. Okay, so there are 3 steps. If I'm a consumer, I will buy. On the other end, remember there are 2 people looking I'm looking for a service, and the vendor, the entrepreneur, is looking for money. So there are two ends of the buyer and the seller, and they're exchanging. There is an exchange, a transaction where money is given and a service or a product is exchanged. So there are three steps. You buy, the entrepreneur ships, and you pay. You buy, the entrepreneur ships the product, and then there is a payment made. Remember, we said, let me go back. Remember, when you're using an e-commerce store for a business platform, let's say Jumia, in our case in Kenya, or My Duka My Dawa. Remember, if that's not your platform, it's the marketplace platform, they hold the payment and they only pay you once the customer has said, yes, I have the product, it's in good condition. That's when they pay you. So there is one thing I want us to understand, that during this process, the customer is looking for the product. But there is also something that the customer is looking, an experience. And today, entrepreneurs, customers are looking for a good customer experience. Customers are no longer naive and they cannot tolerate bad customer experiences anymore. Long time ago, or in Isli, if you walked to Isli, you will get some bad customer service. Why? I feel they feel entitled and they feel like people have to go to them. But when the game changes and it's an online space, it's customer experience that makes you stand out of all the other people who are selling what you're doing. So there is something we need to know and to need to keep on reminding ourselves as we even go through this program, that customer is looking for something, a product, but in the process they're also wanting an experience that is good. Remember, you've invested in your business to attract a customer. Yeah, we are all looking at the customer. The customer, we are endearing the customer, we are attracting them by putting our products on e-commerce stores, on our website. We are preparing a beautiful website with a good mission statement, values, testimonials, all those things. You have onboarded a web developer. All this is to put together an attractive outlook to the customer. Remember, it's perception. Branding, it's a perception you're creating to attract a customer. And then you engage this customer with content. You use all that you can use to create good content that will keep your customer engaged, question, good communication, all those things. You prospect to get and engage the customer. And then the last thing is through the customer experience cycle is you aim to delight a customer. What will make me purchase from you and not from the other person? It's the experience I feel. If I feel like you've handled me well, I might purchase. But if I feel like you handled me in a way that wasn't good, I might abandon the ship halfway. So there is something beyond just putting ourselves online. There is something more. Customer is looking for an experience. And these tools and these innovations we are learning, all this we are learning is to make the process of delighting our customers good. Yeah, that is the goal. If your customer is delighted, trust you me, they will become your advocates. Remember, I spoke about making your customer your advocate. Don't just be happy to receive that 1,000 bob, that 5,000 shillings. Look at the bigger picture, that I want this customer to bring me another 5 customers, and that's times 5 of that 5,000 I received. So there is a customer experience we have to put in the back of our mind as we engage the customer in this process. And handling post sales, when we are handling, now the customer has agreed and they have gone and they have paid. Yeah, we have to think about how will they pay and which mode of delivery are we going to use to deliver the goods and services to our customers. These are the 2 key things I believe can make or break your business. If you have seamless payment method, if you have good delivery services, mostly you enlist delivery services. And in Kenya, when I think about delivery service, I think about Glovo, it's a delivery service. I think about Pickup Mtaani. I've used Pickup Mtaani, and I think they are in every busy town. Any town that is busy, they have people who they have stop points, yeah, where you pick your things or you drop your things. So as an entrepreneur, I want you to start thinking. Now you have an e-commerce, or you are thinking of setting up an e-commerce store. You need to think about the payment mode and the delivery mode. And when it comes to thinking about the payment mode, you want to think about the customer. Many times, entrepreneurs think about their convenience, but I want you, in these processes, especially when you're handling customers, think about the customer. How would the customer want to pay? Okay, and we are coming into that. And there are three essential actors when it comes to e-commerce transaction. There are three. There is a buyer, there is a seller, and what they're exchanging is goods, services, and money. A payment service provider is a must when it comes to e-commerce platforms selling and buying. You need a payment service provider that will come in between the buyer and the seller. And you see, behind all this, there's technology behind the transfer of money. Think about M-Pesa. It's innovation. It's a technology innovation that helps customers and the stores and the buyers have seamless transaction, easy transfer of goods and services. And that's why M-Pesa is one of the technology that has put Kenya in the map, because we are a model. People come to study M-Pesa as a technology that helps transfer of money for goods and services. Using even Mulika Mwizi, you can transact hundreds of thousands using that small phone, and it's a technology behind it. So these three are the main players when it comes to e-commerce transactions. How do you choose a payment option? Okay, you have an e-commerce store, maybe on Jumia. You need to look at the availability of this payment option in your region. And case in point in Kenya, I've just spoken about M-Pesa. M-Pesa is a must-have. I know you agree with me. Everyone has M-Pesa. So it would be unfair for you to set up your e-commerce store and fail to integrate M-Pesa with your store, because many people are easily on their phones and can pay using. That's the quickest option. The other option is debit cards. The major banks in Kenya, top of my head, KCB, Equity, all the commercial banks that are major, you need to also look at them and the availability in the locations, like you need to think about that. So you have to integrate M-Pesa and maybe top banks in our region. Let's say Kenya. We're in Kenya right now. Okay. And if you're dealing with a global audience or people who are buying from Kenya, from other regions, you want to think about PayPal. Yeah, PayPal is a good payment method. I've used PayPal, so I know it works. Though there has been so many changes within PayPal, it's also a good option, especially if you're transacting beyond this region. Okay, you also need to, when you're thinking about a payment option, you also need to think about how easy can I access the money. You don't want a case scenario when you need to fulfill an order and the money is caught up in PayPal. PayPal, they have delays. I think it's the security checkups and stops to just discourage the fraudsters. Make sure it's an account you can access. Okay. You also need to think about the frequency. How soon do you want the money? As a business entrepreneur, weekly, monthly, you need money. You need money every other week. So you also need to interrogate the payment option. Can I have my money when I want my money? Okay. That's something you need to think about. Okay, you also need to think about, can this payment gateway integrate with my website on all of the platform? Websites, if you own the website, I believe that can be easy. But if you're maybe on Gigi as a marketplace, you also need to know how well the options you've chosen integrate with this marketplace platform, so that you don't onboard a process and when someone wants to pay, they can't pay because apparently they can't pay using that method they think they would pay using. So those are the factors you need to, and they are key. Don't overlook them. They are very important to make sure that your client, your customer as an entrepreneur is having a good experience. That's a goal. There's also the flow of money when it comes to an e-commerce store, okay? And it is very, we know it, but when we document it, then it makes sense, okay? The buyer receives an invoice to make a payment. You receive a receipt, an invoice to make a payment for the goods they paid. Maybe the invoice saying pay 5,000, and then you transfer the money using maybe M-Pesa in our case, or maybe even a debit card for your bank. And then when the payment is made, from the other end, the entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, you need to verify, okay? You need to verify that you've received the money, and then you mark those goods as sold. Yeah, because you can then sell and sell until you don't know. And that's why the point of sale CRMs are good. They help you tick something when it's done. You cross it off so that you don't come at it again. And then the goods arrive and are marked as delivered. That's how money flows. I think it went so fast. Yeah, but that's the process. There is a process. Invoice, receipt, we know that. And then you pay, if it's the money, and then you choose how to pay the money. You verify. As an entrepreneur, it's very important. We're living in days people are getting very smart. As we get digitally smart, even the scammers are getting smart. So you need to know how to verify that payment was made, and then the shipment, the goods are sent and they are marked by the seller. As you entrepreneur, you need to make sure you have a system that helps you know what you have in stock and what is sold. And on that note, I don't know how many of you have been scammed online. Yeah? How many? What's your experience? Personally, I consider myself smart. Yeah? I know you consider yourself smart also. But I've been caught, yeah, in these traps by fraudsters. They become very smart. So I remember it's on this platform. I think a fraudster was using someone's video, and they put their number there. So when I reached out to that number, they directed me elsewhere. I think it's his style, his high style. I've been, yeah, Ilioshua, Mosho Moja. So I looked and they had a good offer, and I paid immediately. And lo and behold, when I went to collect, apparently I paid to a scammer. So it is interesting that there is nobody who can't be scammed. We think we are smart, but they're getting smarter. They're even impersonating businesses. So how do you prevent online fraud? Yeah, I would want to hear your experiences. Yeah, and I learned that at High Style, you have to purchase through their website, their e-commerce store. That way, they've safeguarded that space enough for scammers not to be able to interfere. But on social platforms, it's very easy to be scammed because anybody can take your video and pretend to be you. I believe you believe that, okay? So how to prevent online fraud? We spoke about terms and conditions. Have terms and conditions. Yeah. Make sure, I know when we buy electronics, we are told to study the terms and conditions. Or if you're applying for a loan, yeah, if you applied for a loan, the terms and conditions, I believe there's nobody who's read all those terms and conditions. There are so many. Yeah, why do they have terms and conditions? It's to discourage people who are not genuine and fraud people from maybe trying to engage you. It really discourages them. Okay, then you need to design and stick to two-step order review process. Okay, make sure you're selling to a real person. Okay, you verify twice. Oh, what's your name? What's your ID number? This phone, make sure the phone has been registered with Safaricom. Okay, make sure they're not using a proxy's phone. Verify. It's very easy to catch someone who's lying to you. Ask their name, their location, their address, all those things. Verify. Request additional information to keep yourself safe from fraud. How can you do that? Maybe you can ask for next of kin, someone. Yes, ask for next of kin. Ask for if this product is lost in the way, who else can we reach? Call them, make sure they are a real person. Okay? Ask for those details and let the other person, you see, like the banks, they ask you for guarantors. If you ask for an extra number, it's like that person will guarantee if the transaction goes south. Okay, do your research. Research. Yeah, there are so many entrepreneurs who are using payment methods that are online. So talk to people, attend trainings, attend seminars. Don't stay by yourself. Yeah, just know how you can educate yourself further to avoid online scammers. Okay, the next thing, terms and conditions. Make sure you post those links at the end of every, when you've done, when you're checking out, let them see that terms and conditions, the privacy policy, yeah? Let them see at the footer of your website the terms and conditions. Terms and conditions. If it's goods one sold cannot be returned, make sure it's very clear. Yeah? Let that be your safeguard from a fraud activity that maybe someone is planning. Okay? The other thing is common sense. Yeah, you know, God has created us in a way that we have sixth sense. Yeah, intuition, the Holy Spirit. Yeah, use that. Some deals, when the deal is too good, think twice. Yeah, all of a sudden someone has ordered 1,000 pieces of this, and oh, my payment, they keep on, you know, there's a language of defrauding people. Make sure you're quick. Antenines zikwe juu, but sometimes your antenines can be too sharp. Miss on a good sale, so make sure you authenticate, you verify, you get information. Yeah, don't just feel and shush people. Make sure you follow up. Okay, review and update fraud prevention processes. Okay, as the trends keep on changing, even the fraudsters keep on getting a way around these policies and around these things. Make sure that you stay educated and you keep on checking what's trending. Yeah, educate yourself. The other thing, treat customers with respect, even when you have doubts. Yeah, like I've said, give people benefit of doubt. If someone has ordered an excess, because some fraudsters are very calculated, they'll start with gaining your trust, and they start with a few pieces and they build up, and one day, boom, and they tell you just send, I'll pay later. You know, get with it. Just treat them with respect, give them a chance. If there's anything that they need to explain, allow them. They are people, we all make errors, and sometimes maybe even our money delays. Make sure you're able to give people chances. Okay, make sure, you see, you can have terms and conditions, but make sure that your clients are okay with your terms and conditions before purchasing. Yeah, and keep a record of that. It might help you when there's a dispute. So don't overlook these processes and move on. these things will protect your business. It will protect your sanity one day. When there's a dispute, you would go back to the records, because allow people to tick that I agree with terms and conditions while making a purchase on this platform. Please be careful out here. We are trying to make a buck, but there are people who are working harder to take this money away from us. So we need to be careful. Okay. Work with payment gateways, use their tips, training, resources to prevent fraud. Let me tell you, because of the online scamming, these platforms, these payment gateways, let's say the PayPals of this world, the banks of this region and beyond, they've noted that there is a lot of scamming online and fraudulent activities. So they are training people. They keep on training their customers. They keep on training small, medium-sized enterprises. Please take advantage of such trainings and just educate yourself. Stay woke. And the other thing, the last but not least, cancel an order and refund the money if you suspect you're being scammed. Normalize refunding. Normalize. If something is coming a headache to you, if something is too much, it's not worth the few bucks you get out of it. So normalize that. We lose sometimes, we win at times, and that's the journey of an entrepreneur. Actually, I saw a meme the other day of the mind of the day in an entrepreneur's life, and I laughed because every day is a new day. We learn so much. Make sure you just allow stress that is normal. Don't allow things that you can, yani, peace of mind is very important. If you feel like you need to refund someone for your peace of mind, by all means do that, and imagine there is a customer for you. As long as you're giving customer value, as long as you are giving them a good experience, you're communicating, you're building this relationship, you're working on your brand, people are speaking well of you. One person might differ, but let me tell you, some people are just like that, and we have to live with them. There are people who just come to discourage you on this journey. Make sure that you don't allow one apple to spoil for you. Just remove it and continue. It's not the end of the road. And don't be dragged down by one customer and forget to serve all the others who are waiting for you. I know we all get upset, but learn to suck up quickly, because you need to serve the other customer with a smile. If I didn't amuse you, please put a smile for the next person. Don't wear your feelings on your sleeves. The journey of an entrepreneur, yes, is not straightforward. There are bumps and there are days you rejoice. Okay, this is basically, I think that is the explanation of the money flow. And maybe I go back to the money flow, because I think our class is just understanding those two: receiving orders and collecting payments. We've learned about the gateway, payment gateways that we need to understand. We need also to go for trainings with these platforms. If you're using PayPal, they have a lot of training on how to stay alert, how to flag a fraud, and all those things. And the last slides, they are not very visible, but it is basically the e-commerce and the flow of money. That is just what is there, but it's in fine print. It's they're making an item from, there are two ends, and there is the payment in between. There is the purchaser and there is the vendor. And there is everyone's journey is different, because the purchaser, if I'm buying, at the end of the day, I want to receive my service or my product. And on the vendor side, when they start this process, they want to receive payment. Okay, and we agreed that if you're using your own website, then you're the one who is in charge of the money. You're the one who will receive the money. But if you're on Jumia, if you're on Jumia, Then Jumia will receive money and will dispatch money once the customer has received their goods and services. So this is the purchase journey from the customer perspective and also the vendor perspective. And this is further explained on WIDB platform. And WIDB platform, the thing that makes this program the best, one of the best in the world, is because they have broken down these concepts to small biteable bits that you can digest. I want you to go and study this diagram. Yeah. Once you flag a customer, what happens? Once you flag a payment as fraud, what happens? There are steps to these things. So I want you to go on your self-paced learning. Please make sure that you take thought and pause, because this is your journey. It happens so fast, but as clear you can see, it is a process. It happens seamlessly. That's the experience you want to give the customer. You want the customer not to go to pay and they can't pay. Your system is down. The bank systems are down. You want a seamless process when it comes to your customer. That is what will make me come again and come again. Okay. You also want a situation where you receive your money in good time. You don't want delays in your money, because remember, you're here to make money. If you can't receive your money to service the next order, then you don't need to use that marketplace platform. So these are some of the things we need to pay attention as entrepreneurs. Which platform are you using? E-commerce, because they are cheap, you can onboard anytime. Please do your homework. You don't want your money and they can't give you your money. You want their payment gateway integrations to be seamless for your customer experience. And I hope you're really taking and absorbing all this information, because this information is just to make us alert to the what seems so seamless. Yeah, it's kuza na kuchukua, but there's a lot that goes into that. And all this we were doing today, we were just looking at two things: payment and delivery. Make sure you look and pick a delivery service that is good. Don't look for a delivery service that they are complaining of rudeness, lateness, and all those. Make sure you pick a delivery service that is professional. Do your research. Who are people using? I've used Pickup Mtaani, Glovo. There are so many. Internationally, there's FedEx, there's DHL. So you need to know. And the costing, the payment. Do you bill? How do you bill? Are you going to absorb the delivery cost, or are you going to charge for delivery costs? Is the delivery company going to charge the client, or those are the things, the aspects you need to think about. Okay. Personally, when I make a payment, you pay for delivery, because then I'm not able to deliver for free. Okay. What do? I make sure that the delivery service is in communication with you, and they have an app where you can track your goods or services. No, your goods, services, they cannot be delivered. They track the delivery. Make sure you use delivery services that have apps, and those apps work. Otherwise, we've come to the end of our class today, where we were just looking at two things. That is payments and delivering of those services that we are here to do. I hope taking it a day at a time. And at this point, we get to task 4. And what are we doing at task 4? Yeah. At task 4, let me open. I'm going to give you a handout. Today we have a handout for you. I want you to go through the handouts. And at task 4, we are looking at adapting other businesses and other business processes. Take your time, go through these materials. If you don't get it the first time, go back again. Remember, the end is transformation. We want to transform our businesses using digital tools, technologies, and innovations. And this will help you as an entrepreneur stay ahead of the pack. It will open doors for you to be able to transact globally, because it is true, we become a global village. And the case study of Jeff Bezos of Amazon is one to look at. Go study his case. Today, he's $1 billion empire with annual, I was looking at their annual growth of a steady 11% and above growth since COVID. COVID was their best year ever. They had over 22% growth in their revenue earning. That tells you that you can never go wrong with e-commerce platforms or even your own website. So that is a challenge. But by the end of this WIDB, that even as you start your entrepreneur journey, for those who have not started, or as you build on your entrepreneur journey, you will onboard these tools that will make you a thought leader in your line of business. And this will go a long way to transforming the experiences your customers have when they engage you. And who knows, don't despise your humble beginnings, invest in knowledge, because we have come to analyze and realize that digital transformation, not only in your social media and your digital presence, it also goes to the other services you're offering, your accounting, your communications. It cuts across board. Thank you for your time. Happy learning. I appreciate your feedback. Keep it coming. We are almost at the end. A certificate is waiting for you. It is an international recognized certificate, yeah, a barcoded one that you can show anywhere to say that you're literate when it comes to digital things. Enjoy task 4 and see you soon. Bye.